How's it going, guys? Welcome to a build tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to build this very awesome starter treehouse here, which is quite easy to build and very simple steps that you can follow to get something looking like this. I'm also working on a bigger one. If you guys want to see that in a future video, click that like button down below. But today I'm just going to be showing you how to build this slightly smaller treehouse. It looks absolutely awesome. If you put this in a survival world, it will not look out of place at all. It's very cool. So let's just get onto the interior. As you can see, there's this ladder here that's floating. Now, this is actually a data pack, which is amazingly cool and it's super easy to use. I'll leave a download link to it in the description so you can add this to your world. It's very useful, and I don't know why you can't do this in the actual game. It would be massively beneficial. Now, if we come up here, you can see it is quite spacious on the inside. You've got a good amount of space considering the size of the tree. So we just got a bit of storage room, a crafting table. We've also got an enchantment table. This is level 30 as well. Obviously, these books at the top are just for decoration purposes. They don't actually add to it. But with all the bookshelves down here, it is level 30. We got some furnaces, more storage, and then a little bedroom in here, which I think is really cool. Just using these trapdoors makes it, you know, kind of like a little private room. It's quite cool, quite cozy. And yeah, let's just get into building it. Now, the first step to building this treehouse is going to be the main trunk, which will just lay out the basic foundation of the size of your tree and what it's going to look like. So you're going to start off by just sort of making a rough shape of the sort of the angle of the tree you want to do. We can even put a little bend in it like that. And just to get the height of it, it'll probably go about to here just to start off with. You can always make it taller. And then the rough size is for a treehouse like this is probably about a 2x2 going up, if you can try and keep that sort of consistent look to it. And it's just placing blocks. Now, I'm obviously using the wooden, what do you want to call them, the bark logs, I suppose, with it on all sides. Alright, then once you got a rough shape, you can just go down the bottom and start adding some roots, which is pretty simple and it looks very cool, and it just adds a lot of detail. And then you want to go around the base and just place some spruce stairs and slabs and stuff just to build up a bit. You can also place some fences, which just add a little bit of detail. Then you want to come up the trunk a bit and just place more slabs and stairs and things, and just make it look a bit random, but, you know, smoothing it out a little bit. Alright, so once you've done that, you want to then move on to the main branches, which you want to start about the middle of the tree, or, you know, you can put it wherever you want depending on the size of your tree. But I'm going to start about here, and you just want to get some of these logs and just place something a little bit like this, and then you arc it down just at the end, make a little sort of shape like that. And then you can come back in here and delete some of the logs so that there's not as many, just some of the corner ones that connect, you know, so you get things like this where it's sort of a diagonal, just doesn't look as out of place. And then you have a branch just like that. So you want to keep doing that on all parts of the tree. I usually aim to get around like 4 or 5 of these large branches, just evenly spaced out everywhere. Alright, so once you've got a few branches in, you want to come to the top and just look and make sure you got roughly a pretty good circular sort of size, just to make sure the branches are all a similar length. It'll just turn out a lot better at the end. They can vary a lot though, you know, it's up to you. Once you've done that, you just want to come in with some slabs and stairs and fences again, and just add a bit more detail like this. I often quite like putting one on the end, just to make it seem like the branch is sort of thinning out as they would do. And then these bits, I like to put a slab just basically in the corners when there's things like this. That's when you want to add some more stuff to it. So you can do stairs, whatever you want. It's all just a bit random, and it makes it look quite good. Once you've done that, next thing you want to come in and do is just add a lot of smaller branches. Now this will just be primarily with spruce fences, so just coming off of these branches you want to do stuff like this. You can vary in height a bit and just go all over the place really with it, and it'll end up looking quite good. And then once you've done that, just once again come to the top and look that you've sort of evenly spaced them out as best you can. And just got to clear this rain here. Now I'm also just going to come here and make this slightly taller just by going probably like that. And then right at the top you want to add just like 2 or 3 spruce fences just to give it a bit of a point. Next thing you're going to want to do is come in and just add leaves. Now you can use whatever type of leaves you want, and I should have mentioned obviously you can use any type of wood you want. You know, you can vary this as much as you can. I'm just trying to give you the raw fundamentals about how to make something like this. But what I like to do to simplify making the leaves is I come to each point of these branches, of the big ones to start off with, and I make a flat circle roughly about 3 on each edge. Obviously that varies quite a lot, but that's just the rough shape I like to go for its size. So you just want to do this and come around on every branch and make something a bit like that. And you want to vary it on each branch as much as you can. So once you've done the main branches, then you want to come over to the smaller ones and do the same thing again, but obviously slightly smaller. So if these were 3 on each end, then these will be roughly 2. So once you've done all that, you should get something looking something like this, and it is at this point that you can come down to the bottom and just look around and try to see if there's any like big gaps or bits that don't really look right, like spots where you could add more branches potentially, stuff like that. And this is the best point to do it, where you haven't added too many leaves and you can still sort of see what's going on. So that's why I start with just doing the flat circles, and it is now that we can move on to giving them a bit of height. So you just want to come over to the main bits of, where the end of the branches, and god damn it has rained about 5 times already from me recording this. But just from the center, you just want to build it up a little bit more and just add something like that. You can make it a bit taller, you can do whatever you want. Just add, this is where you just start adding leaves basically everywhere. So we got a smaller one here, just go ahead and do that. Just place them as randomly as you can, but just roughly in the center of each like branch, I suppose I should say. And there you go, now you should have built up all the leaves around here. So the next step to do is to just come down to the flat parts of each of them and just add some bits hanging down, just like this. So just on the end, you can also bring it out by one on a diagonal like that, and just add some hanging bits, just make it, you know, give it a bit more character. So what you want to be doing is putting leaves on the ends, and then also where you think the branch might be hanging down a bit more, where the leaves might be heavier, that's where you want to add something like this on the end, and obviously in the middle it's, you know, it's higher up, if that makes any sense. Just because that's, you know, sort of what they do in real life. There you go. Once you've done that, you should have all the main parts of the branches done down here. So now it's just time to move on to the top part. So you want to come to this point here and just add a few more branches coming off, nowhere near as long as these ones, because you want to add a nice sort of circular look to it. So if we just come here and just use some spruce fences, you know, you can add little branches sort of like this. Just give them a bit of direction, bit of randomness to them, similar to what we did with these branches down here. But once again, just make sure they don't come out as far. And once you've done that, you just want to do basically the same thing you did down here. So you want to add the circles to start off with, and just on each of the branches like this. And then for the branch that you have pointing out the top, this is the one you probably want to make the biggest, just to sort of cap off the whole tree. So then once again, you want to add some depth to these leaves at the top here, just make them a bit more bushier. And then once again, you want to come to these and just make them hang a bit and just add some more things. With these ones, you might have to make them hang quite a lot to sort of cover this bit. It's also good to leave some bits open into the treehouse. That could look quite cool. But for the most part, you want to cover, you know, quite a lot of this and make them hang as much as you can, ideally. Right, now once you finish the top, you have your tree complete, and it is time to start moving on to the actual treehouse. Alright, so you're just going to want to come up here and start placing in the floor of your treehouse. Now I'm going to just be using oak slabs. Once again, you can use whatever you want, but just start coming in here and just filling in some of the gaps and just giving it a bit of a floor. And also for the ladder, you want to pick a good spot. Now obviously this data pack I'm using, once again, it will be in the description. It's very cool. All you need to do is hold shift while using the ladders, and then right click, and it'll place it all the way to the ground, and then you have a floating ladder just like this. Alright, now once you've done that, you can come around to some of these spruce, the fences that are in the ground that can be a little bit annoying. It's okay to leave some of them, but if they're in the way of certain things, and it is quite good just to get rid of them. But you can also place carpets over them in the future, which is what I'll do, even though you do still pop up. So next, once you've placed in the floor, you want to get some oak trapdoors and just place them around the edges of the bits where, you know, you can fall through things. I might put one there. You know, just around the edges, give it a little bit of a fence. It does look quite cool in my opinion. And where there's these bits where you can't place another block on the inside, you want to come to the outside and place it like that. And then I'll also need to, it can get a little bit fiddly, but there you go. Alright, so once you've done that, you have the basic foundation of your treehouse, I suppose, and the floor plan. Now, this one is a little bit bigger than the one I showed you in the start, but it should still look pretty cool. I mean, once again, it is a bit difficult to tell how big it's going to be when you're building the actual tree, but, you know, this is a good size in my opinion. Alright, so next up, you want to get some lanterns and just place them on the fences at the top here, which is one thing I do love that about the fences at the top here, is that you can, you know, place the lanterns on them and they look very cool. So just come around here, sort of one in each, I suppose, room. I mean, they're not really rooms yet, but you know what I mean. Just place them around a bit like that, just to give it some light. So then it's time to start placing in some, you know, survival things. So we're going to start off with just, obviously, a crafting table and chests and stuff like that. Now, storage can be a little bit annoying up here, but there is enough space to just place chests all over the place if you need to do that. So I'm just going to place a chest in there, put a crafting table here, another chest, you know, just simple stuff like that. Now I think we're going to place the enchantment table up in this bit. So we're just going to get ourselves an enchantment table and some bookshelves. And it is quite open up here. I think I might put it on the inside here so we can do something like this and place the bookshelves over up against the tree, just like this, and that should look pretty cool in my opinion. What I'm actually going to do here is just reposition this bit a little bit, get rid of these fences, and I might move some in here maybe just like that. I just want to move the staircase over to this side so that I can put more bookshelves here and then make it so it sort of loops around. I might need to get rid of that one, sadly. And yeah, that's looking a lot better. I'm also going to place some at the top here. Once again, these will not be affecting it, but it just looks a little bit better. So if you have the extra bookshelves in your survival world, you can do that. Now I'm also just going to bring these leaves out a little bit, just so it's not so cramped in there with the roof. So I'm just going to make the leaf a little bit bigger, just like this. Just make it hang over the edge, roughly around here, rather than, you know, more central. So then you can just grab yourself some carpets and place it over these spruce fences if you don't like the look of it. Obviously you don't have to do this, it's up to you. And then you can also place them, you know, wherever you want. Just scatter them around. That might affect the crafting table actually, yes it does. There we go, that one's fine. Just place them around everywhere. You know, random looks pretty good in this sort of build, so just place carpets wherever you want really. Not on the slabs though, obviously. Now I'm going to try and fit a little bedroom in here. It might be a little bit difficult. We don't have a lot of space, but I think if I just add some sort of a wall here, and then flip all those up, you know, we should get something looking pretty good. I think I might just add one here as well. Maybe another one like this. Yeah, that's okay. It's a little bit, you know, it's a bit difficult in this space, you know. We definitely could have put the bedroom up here. I just thought it was a little bit too open. We could have closed it off more. I mean, this is the best we're going to be able to do. So then we just want to add some beds and some bookshelves and stuff, obviously. I'm just going to put them here. That works pretty well. That might be a bit annoying. I don't know how I'm going to fix that, but... So I've just fixed that by adding a bookshelf there, and then the trapdoor over that side. And then if we come around here, we can also just place that there to sort of cover it up a little bit. Then obviously we got this open bit. Now I'm just going to place a bit, a few leaves in here just to cover this side up a little bit. Obviously it's good to have, some sort of a window, which can be that bit, but, I say that looks pretty cool. It's not too open. I'm just going to add a little chest here as well, and another bookshelf over that side. And then I'll just come around here and add that there. And there we go, that's basically our bedroom done. I might try to get a lantern in here, so I'm just going to bring this branch over and down a little bit there, and then move this to there. So pretty simple fix. Now we got a little lantern in here as well. Definitely a very cozy bedroom, a lot more cozy than the one I had on the other treehouse. That's alright, and I've just realized I want to actually move these trapdoors to this side, and then flip all them closed. That'll make that one look a lot better as well. And then if we remove this wall, we can actually add a painting here. Just like that. I'll make a small one. I'll do it. What one do I want? That one's probably my favorite, so you can just chuck that there. And then something I also do like to do, and I did in the other world, other tree houses, just add some banners over the side here. That makes that look a little weird, so I might just redo this painting here and try to get a smaller one. There we go, picture of a kebab, perfect. There we go, that is the bedroom done. It looks pretty cool. It could be better. I wish we had a little bit more space for it, but that is sort of the appeal of this place anyway. So yeah, here's our bedroom done. So next up, you're going to need some space for furnaces and stuff. So I'm just going to get some blast furnaces, regular furnaces, and some smokers. And then I'm just going to put them in this space here. I will need to cover it up a little bit more, but just place them in to start off with. Just a couple of these things. I thought I got a smoker, obviously not. And, just something like that looks pretty cool. So there we go, we got a sort of wall of furnaces. I'll move that back by one, actually, just like that. And then once you've done that, I'm just going to place some leaves over this side. I don't really want furnaces to be exposed. They don't look particularly great. But if we just do something like that, and then bring this over, and that should look pretty cool. Alright, so I've just added a couple more things just to make the interior look a little bit cooler. I've added an armor stand just by the front here. I've also added a painting here, which is this is the Starry Night thing, which I have in my custom texture pack. But usually that's, some other painting, but you can do anything you want there. I've just put this here just to cover up the bookshelves. Then I've also placed the trapdoors around it just so you can't really see the bookshelves from this side. It looks a lot better. Obviously then we got the bedroom looking very cozy. We got some furnaces. I do like this big open bit. If you don't like it, you can always cover up with some leaves. But just from the outside, I think it's quite cool having these big gaps where you can sort of look in and see what's going on. It's quite cool. So then obviously we come up here. We got the enchantment table. So I just got a chest, added an ender chest, and also added an anvil over here on the balcony, which I really do like this bit just here, actually, in my opinion. And one thing I did forget to mention is these bushy leaves, which is also in my texture pack. I should have a link, if I remember, in the description to where you can go and download these bushy leaves, and you can just add them to any texture pack you're using. So there you have it, guys. That is how to build a very simple starter treehouse, which looks great in my opinion. And that's, basically it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.